Our topic is Antibiotics Labeling by Shannon Donahue, Christian Mazariegos, Ann Karen Magallanes, Alan Ralston, and Megan Nambu.
Hi, my name is Alan Ralston. Consumer preference for meat products has shifted to becoming organic and natural, and labeling pork products as antibiotic-free is starting to become more common. In order to use this claim, animals produced must have not been given any antibiotics in their feed, water, or by injections. Antibiotic-free labeling is not taken lightly, however. It is required by any producer who claims to have raised an antibiotic-free product to provide a detailed written process of production from birth to harvest, ensuring no antibiotics are given, and a written description ensuring no antibiotics are applied to the product after the slaughter and during further processing. Some examples of pork producers labeling their product as antibiotic-free are no antibiotics administered the last 150 days, and raised without subtherapeutic antibiotics, or raised without antibiotics. Keep in mind, the phrase raised without antibiotics is synonymous to no antibiotics administered. The topic of antibiotic-free pork production and labeling is becoming more relevant every year. A Thomson Reuters poll in 2011 found that 58% of consumers preferred organic food as opposed to conventional, and 63% of consumers under the age of 35 years old preferred organic. The term organic means that the pork is raised in a system that promotes biodiversity, with minimal use of off-farm inputs and no antibiotics or growth stimulants. More consumers are cooking meals at home as opposed to eating out, and the meals consumed at home has reached a 25-year high.
Hi, my name is Christian, and I'm going to continue to discuss as to why antibiotic labeling is relevant to the swine industry. Antibiotic labeling is a topic that certainly affects the swine industry because antibiotics is typically used to inhibit the growth of or destroy microorganisms in the swine population. According to the Natural Resources Defense Council, also known as NRDC, 27.1% of all medically important antibiotics sold in the United States are for pig production. To give you an idea of how much that is, the same report also stated that 27.6% is sold for use in human medicine. The swine industry has been heavily scrutinized in recent years in terms of antibiotic use. Why, you may ask? Well, scientists are currently debating on the definition of responsible use of antibiotics because of the ongoing evolution of microorganisms that allow them to become resistant. Many scientists suggest that pigs that have been diagnosed with a bacterial infection and those around that pig should be the only ones to receive antibiotics. However, there is still a wide consensus that agree that antibiotics are an effective aid in fortifying biosecurity, which is why many hog farmers in the U.S. utilize antibiotics.
Common concerns of consumers are that use of antibiotics in livestock may cause them to become ineffective in humans. Antibiotic-resistant infections in humans come from antibiotic-treated livestock. There's an increase in antibiotic-resistant bacteria, and 80% of antibiotics are used in livestock animals. Effects on pork consumer. According to the North American Meat Institute, antibiotics require caution. Some antibiotics may work for certain bacteria, but not on others. That's why it's important to treat with the correct antibiotic. When antibiotics are administered, some bacteria become resistant and antibiotics are no longer effective. When using antibiotics, all bacteria within the body is affected. This means that some bacteria may thrive while others are being destroyed. However, not using antibiotics could lead to a bigger problem like the spread of infection in a herd. When antibiotics are used, a waiting period is required to ensure that no antibiotic residues are left.
I'm Ann Karen Magallanes, and my slide is, what is the industry's response? So on the website, Pork Checkoff, the National Pork Board states that they support objective, scientifically rigorous studies and risk assessments to help farmers make more informed decisions regarding the use of antibiotics in food animals and to build upon efforts to continuously improve antibiotic use and best practices. The National Pork Board has also collaborated with the Center for Disease Control and have developed the Antimicrobial Resistance Challenge, where governments, private industries, and other worldwide organizations are encouraged to help advance the mitigation of antibiotic resistance. These efforts have been done to encourage a One Health approach to the problem, whereby working with veterinarians, physicians, and other professionals, the goal to learn how to control health threats, such as antimicrobial resistance and other public threats, can be accomplished. The National Pork Board and American farmers are dedicated to ensure a safe food supply and are raising healthy animals. They are committed to working closely with veterinarians to reduce the use of antibiotics and practice responsible antibiotic usage, as explained in the National Pork Board's Antibiotic Stewardship Plan.
Hi, I'm Shannon Donahue. This graphic from Pork Checkoff shows us what responsible antibiotic use looks like on a pig farm. There are 3 reasons a pork farm might use antibiotics. The first is to treat an illness when a pig gets sick. The second is to control the spread of illness in neighboring pigs. And the third is to prevent illness at specific times of vulnerability in the herd. The emphasis is that responsible antibiotic use benefits everyone. The pig gets a better quality of life when antibiotics are used as prescribed by a veterinarian. This includes sows faring larger, healthier litters, getting sick less often and recovering faster if they do get sick, less premature death, and a healthier animal that grows stronger. Antibiotics also benefit the earth because they give Earth's resources a break. Healthy pigs use 78% less food, 41% less water, and 35% reduced carbon footprint to produce 1 pound of pork as compared to an unhealthy pig. Another emphasis by Pork Checkoff is that safe pork comes from healthy pigs, but also that antibiotics must be used responsibly to produce safe pork products. Now on to some recommended solutions. First, we recommend education of the consumer. To clarify that no antibiotics are allowed in meat being sold, so an antibiotic-free or no antibiotics label is unnecessary and misleading. It should also not solely be up to the pork industry to educate the consumer, but the USDA should also publicly advertise the standards it holds for all meats, such as no antibiotics or residue can be present in meat at slaughter. The label "No Antibiotics Ever" is also a misleading label. The public should be educated on why and when antibiotics are used, how they create a safer meat product, and how the farmer must wait a certain amount of time before slaughtering an animal that was administered antibiotics. Next, there should be a change in labeling regulations. This is up to the USDA. They should make it a legal requirement to include a statement about antibiotics and the true meaning of the label on every package that has a no antibiotics label. And here are our sources. Thanks for watching.